What's going on, everybody? Moonshine again, here with another Moonshine Talk. This time I'm doing a CD collection update. I placed another order with Mad Rush Media on eBay. It's a fantastic seller on eBay. I'll post a link in the description if you want to check them out. They got a lot of good hard rock, heavy metal. Shipping is super fast. If you order enough, you get free shipping. The packaging is immaculate. I was pissed this past time because I get my order today and I get the notification I'm out and about doing my thing. It's my weekend. And I get home and I look and there's nothing at the door. And the way my place is set up, not to give away too much, but then I have another door and I look and it's not on that side. So then I go, I figure, all right, it's at my post office box. So go check that out. And these dumbasses take this box and they stuffed it into the slot like dipshits. It's like, dude, could you just put it in my doorway? Seriously? I mean, is it that difficult? I get it. You work for the government. You're getting paid regardless. But it's like, take a little pride in your work, for crying out loud. I get it. You don't want to get out of the vehicle more than once, but come on, work with me here. So I have to go thinking, okay, how do I do this? So I just go home, grab some tools, grabbed a box cutter, needle nose pliers, a flathead screwdriver. I'm trying to pull this thing, pry it out of there. That's not working. So I finally had to cut the box open, pull a couple of the CDs out. Nothing was damaged. Got the rest of them out, pull the box out, and bada bing, bada boom, got it out of the drop box. Annoying, but not the end of the world. But just kind of a funny little story, one of those everyday inconveniences that drive people nuts. Drove me nuts, but took care of it, got it done, and it's fine. Everything's fine. But anyhow, before I do that, I wanted to mention a couple of things I was spinning today and the past couple days. One of which was a band called Warrior Soul. Some people probably know them, others might not. They're a fantastic hard rock band from the 90s. This is Salutations from the Ghetto Nation. I heard of them when I was a kid, when I was in high school. A couple of buddies of mine turned me on to them. Saw them on MTV. They had a few videos. This is a fantastic album. Love Destruction. Ghetto Nation is probably one of my favorite songs of any of the songs that they do. They're a super underrated band. They didn't get a lot of love back in the 90s. I don't think they get as much attention as they should. Corey Clark is an interesting fellow. I know at one point he was singing for Trouble when Eric Wagner wasn't in the band. I don't think I've ever heard anything that they did. I don't even know if they released anything with him doing vocals. But that I thought was always a interesting thing, interesting choice. He's got a fantastic voice. It's real gritty, but it's powerful, and you know, a lot of the songs are stellar. Like I said, Love Destruction, Ghetto Nation is one of my favorites. Just starts out with this killer bass line. It's got a lot of groove to it. It's very rocking. I'm trying to think of a couple others. Uh, Punk and Belligerent is fantastic. Blown Away is another good one. Yes, that's one of the things I was spinning. The other one was another Warrior Soul, Last Decade, Dead Century. This one's fantastic as well. I See the Ruins, We Cry Out, The Losers. This one might be their best one. Superpower Dreamland is another good one. Uh, Blown Away, that's a really good one. The whole album's killer. I mean, I wouldn't say their entire body of work because I haven't heard the entire thing. I heard the most recent thing they did, and I kind of wasn't impressed with it. There's a few that I haven't checked out, but honestly, in the future, I want to do a ranking of their discography. If you know of or you're interested in personally doing something like that, hit me up. I got a couple ideas of people who might be willing. Oh, my phone just went off for some reason. Who might be interested in doing it, but we'll see. It's something down the road. And then finally, I was listening to Blessed Are the Sick by Morbid Angel. Classic Morbid Angel, can't go wrong with it. Abominations, Fall from Grace, Day of Suffering. Day of Suffering is one of the first death metal songs I heard. They're one of the first bands, death metal wise, I ever heard. and it's just killer classic album. You can't go wrong with it. I didn't have a lot of new stuff, so I spent a bunch of my old stuff, but that's that. Yeah, so some of the cool stuff I've been listening to lately. All right, now let's get on to this. By the way, if you like this or any wrestling shirts, this is from Pro Wrestling Tees. It's a Demolition shirt. Demolition's awesome 80s tag team. Oh, shit. That's not good. That's not good. That's probably my job. All right, I guess we're going to pause this for a. That was hilarious. The power of technology. Somebody from work responded to me, and then I got a notification for a video that was coming on, but I'll watch it soon enough. Anyhow, let's get on with this monkey show. So the first one I got here, I haven't unwrapped any of these or anything. Most of the stuff actually say this. I haven't heard any of these, so I'm going into it blind. But I figured I'm getting more into like underground stuff, like a lot of death metal, black metal, stuff that I really haven't heard when it first came out, or I'm just getting into now from watching various channels and people's recommendations and all that sort of thing. So I try to be a dick. Don't give me shit that I'm not familiar with a lot of this stuff if I don't get something incorrect or whatever the case is. I'm getting into a lot of this stuff right now. I've come from more like hard rock, sludge, doom background. So a lot of the other maybe like the more classic death metal, old school 90s Florida and Swedish death metal bands. That's the stuff I mostly listened to growing up. Didn't really listen to a lot of black metal, not a whole lot of grindcore. I might have heard some bands, but I couldn't tell you any of them off the top of my head. I don't know, does Doom or Extreme Noise Terror count? I don't know. Maybe some old super classic Bolt Thrower, stuff like that. But a lot of stuff, if I'm not 100% accurate on it, feel free to correct me. Also, if you like the content, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. But anyhow, let's get on with it. I've been babbling long enough. First one is Ravenous by God Dethroned. The first thing of theirs I saw, or listened to, I should say, was the Grand Grimoire. I heard it on a Metal Blade sampler. It was pretty cool. I like the fact that it was based on Warlock, the movie. Uh, Bought that album. It's pretty killer. Bought Bloody Blasphemy. That one's pretty killer. Not as good as Grand Grimoire. Actually, I heard this one. I heard Ravenous. I listened to it on YouTube while I was on the elliptical one day. It's very killer. This is the only one I have actually heard. The whole thing, I'm trying to remember some of the songs that were really, really good. I think probably the first three or four, Swallow the Spikes, Poison Apple, Via Vampiria, Consumed by Darkness, those stood out to me. But the whole thing is killer. So I'm gonna enjoy that. Actually, listening on the headphone with the headphones on, getting to hear everything a little more closely, and that's how I like doing it. I don't know how you guys listen to your stuff, but that's what I do. Yeah, so that's that one. Second one is another God Dethroned, Lair of the White Worm. Uh, Excited to hear that. Dave didn't have a lot of the God Dethroned stuff, so I might have to go to Metal Blade or whatever, to someplace like that to get the rest. Next one is a lot of Bathory. I'm trying to finish out my Bathory collection. This one's Blood on Ice. Got Jubileum Volume 1, Nordland 2, Destroyer of Worlds. There's that one. Like I say, haven't heard any of them. Just been getting into Bathory the past couple of years, so really starting to dig deep into their discography and listen to a lot of their stuff. So that's another set. I just figured I'd try to go nuts and pick up a big chunk of their discography while I could. Next up is Malevolent Creation. This is, can't even read, sorry. The Will to Kill and War Cult. I'm not really familiar with a lot of Malevolent Creation. The only thing I listened to theirs was on a sampler. They did a cover Piece by Piece by Slayer. It was pretty good. I know they're one of the Florida death metal bands that were around back in the day. I just never really listened to them back then. I'm a little more familiar with J-Dog from Hell's Headbangers, wonderful. He did. He mentioned Divine Empire, and I checked them out. They were killer, so I bought one of their LPs. Uh, didn't know a lot of the. There were some guys from Level and Creation in it, so I said, yeah, that was pretty good. So I'll check out some of their stuff, and if I like it, I'll probably pick up some more. But that's another one. This one, Grave, a fan of theirs, Swedish death metal. I have Soulless. I have a couple of their other albums on CD. I enjoy them. Soulless is probably one of my favorites. I know it's not the first two or demos or whatever the case, but yeah, that's so I'll check that out. I've never heard that one, so I'm excited to give that a spin. The next up is another one that I'm late to the game on, but fuck it. I mean, I'm listening to them and I like them, so I got more of their stuff. It's Destroyer 666. Got Defiance. That's that one. Phoenix Rising, if you can see it. Never Surrender. The first one was Wildfire, by the way. Haven't heard any of these, so I'm going into them blind, but everything else that I picked up of theirs has been killer. I found a couple, I heard a lot of people talking about them, so I found a couple in a local record store on CD, picked them up, enjoyed them thoroughly. So I picked up a couple more. Hell's Headbangers had Unchain the Wolves. I was looking for that for a minute. Found that one. Picked up a couple others, and I just figured Dave and Mad Rush had a bunch of these available, and he didn't have many left, so I just picked them up. I said, no, I'll just go ahead and grab these real quick. So I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy them, but I'll let you know. The next one, I'm not really another one. Florida death metal, classic stuff from Beyond. I've heard this before by Massacre. Not. It's been a while, so I don't really remember a lot of the songs, but yeah, that's another one I picked up. So I'm sure it'll be killer. The next one, I know I've heard a lot of people talk about these guys. Impetigo. It's actually funny to see on the back the one dude's got the Massacre from Beyond shirt on. Horror the Zombies. I've heard people talking about them. I saw it on the site, so I picked it up, and I'll let you know what I think of it. Then we got Testament, First Strike, Still Deadly. This is one of the ones, I believe, when Chuck Billy's voice kind of changed from being a little bit more melodic to harsher vocals. I don't know if that was, I think it was post-cancer or I think he had cancer. And I don't know, they went from really kind of more melodic to really harsher, almost death metal-y vocals. So I've just been slowly but surely trying to pick up more and more of their stuff. And that's another one, so I'll let you know. And it's got Steve Souza from Exodus, formerly of Exodus, on that. So that's cool. I'll look forward to that. This one is Grand Magus, Wolf's Return, Swedish doom metal. I'm, like I said, big fan of doom. I've heard a few songs of these guys. I have one of their later releases on CD. I think one song I heard a long time ago. It's called Uvaskal or something like that. It's killer, very, very Sabbathian. And I enjoy it. So this is some of their earlier stuff. I think I'll probably enjoy that more than the later releases. But yeah, well, I'll let you know how that one goes. And then finally, I have Pentagram, Subbasement. Just trying to finish out my Pentagram discography. I have most of their stuff on CD at this point, but another classic doom metal band. Bobby Liebling is an interesting character, to say the least, but I enjoy Pentagram. I enjoy hearing all their stuff, hearing the evolution of the sound. That's a lot of times why I get a lot of these. I start building up these collections of the certain bands I like and hearing the whole discography. Because over the years, I just never really did a lot of collecting. I just pretty much, I listen to what I listen to. A lot of it I just listen to over the years constantly over and over and over again on repeat, like for probably like a good 6 months to maybe 8 months. The main thing I would have in my truck at any given time was Misfits American Psycho, and I listened to that one over and over and over and over and over again. Some Clutch stuff, things like that. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I know this was I was trying to go a little bit faster than than what I have. But if you've watched any of my videos and you've subscribed to my channel, which I hope some of you continue to do, find people to do that, trying to get those numbers up a little bit. Uh, you'll know I'm long-winded, I talk slow, and I'm kind of methodical in most everything I do if you get to know me. Some people think it's brain damage, but it's not. I've been hit on the head, but not to the point of total brain damage. I just talk slow and kind of pace myself through life. But yeah, that's it. I think they're all going to be cool. I think I'm going to enjoy all of them. If I don't, that's fine. It's not the worst thing in the world. Getting to sit around and listen to music in my free time. I work a shit ton of hours at work, so this is what I do for fun. That and the working out, as you can see behind me. Metal, working out, pro wrestling, horror movies, stuff like that. That's what I'm into. But yeah, so that's that. Got more videos coming up in the future. Hopefully people like the content. If you like it, keep watching. I'm trying to get some stuff in the works that'd be a little bit more interesting than just seeing me talking to the walls. But we'll see. If anything actually comes to fruition, then I'll let you know about it. But all right, anyhow, take care. That's it for now. Stay sick, heavy, brutal. Always remember, tuck your chin. Don't forget to breathe. And we'll see you later from the Sunshine State.